Welcome to another edition of Prize Picks Tips. I'm your host, Matt Breed, aka MMA Lock of the Night, and your boy on Twitter at MMALOTN. And I am here to drop my 3 best Prize Picks tips for you guys for UFC Vegas 29, headlined by Dan Ige and Korean Zombie. And there are quite a lot of good spots that I actually like on this card from a Prize Picks perspective. Now, just letting you guys know right off the top of the show that I've actually added something new to the Patreon, which is a Prize Picks Tips quick article where I give you guys all of my best prize pick spots for every single fight on the card that's coming up. So there you can get more than just the 3 picks that I'm going to be giving to you guys here, especially if you're attacking this UFC betting from a prize picks standard. Trust me, you're going to want to check it out, as I do believe that there are a lot of juicy spots on this card, but I'm going to give you my 3 favorite ones on the card tonight. For those of you not familiar with prize picks, I'll give you guys a quick synopsis. You pretty much parlay together 2 to 5 spots on the card. They allow you to choose over-unders on fantasy points, significant strikes, takedowns, as well as minutes, and you can parlay all of those together, and they give you a pretty good payout depending on if all of them win. They also have an option called a flex, I believe it's called, where only 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 of your picks need to hit for you to actually class. It's obviously a smaller payout than if you were to go the full prize pick slip, but just another way for you guys to potentially win some money. And again, shout out to Prize Picks, who's pretty much sponsoring the show. If you guys check out Prize Picks, prizepicks.com, use promo code UFC100, and they'll match your initial deposit up to $200, I believe it is, or $100. I believe it's $100. I could be off on that, but regardless, if you guys are going to check out Prize Picks, take full advantage of that. I don't believe they actually have a crazy rollover or anything like you would have on a betting website, so make sure you guys check out Prize Picks. Again, just another way for us to try to make some money off of the UFC. So let's not waste any more time. First and foremost, we're going to go with Dan Ige, and they only set his takedowns at 1. I was very surprised at seeing that number. I don't expect him to go out there and completely just rely on his striking. I'm expecting him to go out there and at least land 1 takedown. Now, if he only lands 1, it's a push for us, but if he goes out there and lands at least 2, which I think he can do for the majority of 15 to 25 minutes, I'm expecting him to actually knock out Korean Zombie come the 3rd or 4th round here. But within that amount of time, I believe he's going to mix up the game enough, especially with bringing in some takedowns into the conversation, and I think he can land at least 2 takedowns here. So I think that over 1 is a little bit of a gift here, especially in a fight where we have Dan Ige, the BJJ black belt holder. I know Chan Sung Jung is a very good jiu-jitsu player himself, but I'd be very surprised if he has anything that Dan Ige should be fearful of in terms of off of his back. But I'm very confident in that over 1 takedown for Dan Ige. Secondly, I'm going to go with Sergey Spivak with over 25.5 significant strikes. I'm kind of surprised that the line is that low, but I'm actually expecting him to take a disciplined approach in this fight, which is don't engage in the grappling right off the bat. Kind of just jab him to death from the outside. And in the first round alone, he should be able to land more than 25 significant strikes. Once he starts to take this fight to the ground, his ground and pound is obviously going to be very significant and will definitely rack up. And I'm kind of surprised that they only set it at 25.5. But I do think that the people who are setting those lines are expecting this fight to go under 1.5 and not actually last that long, which is why they're only giving us 25.5 points. I fully expect Sergey Spivak to be disciplined. He doesn't want to wrap up with Alexei Oleinik right off the bat. He could catch himself in a weird choke or something like that. And I don't think he's a heavy hitter or one-punch power kind of guy like Derek Lewis and Chris Daukaus, who Alexei Oleinik fell against in his last 2 fights. So I do expect Spivak to stretch this fight out a little bit longer, wait for Oleinik to start huffing and puffing a little bit, and then chase that takedown and start going to town with that ground and pound. But in the process of doing so, I expect him to land more than 25.5 significant strikes. So I like the over on that as well. And then lastly, Marlon Vera against Davy Grant. Marlon Vera is the one that you're going to be choosing. Over 12.5 minutes. I do expect this fight to go over 2.5 rounds. I'm fully expecting, the durability of Davy Grant to hold up. Marlon Vera has actually never been finished either, so I do believe his durability will hold up. I think the only way this fight actually ends up losing or actually finishing inside the distance is if Marlon Vera lands a submission on Davy Grant, and it is a possibility, but I do think that we'll see Davy Grant play this fight as safe as possible, and I do see this fight going the full 15 minutes. So the fact that they're only giving us 12.5 minutes here, I'm fine with that. I'm happy with taking the over, as I do expect it to hit. Like I said, Marlon Vera never been finished. The majority of his wins are coming by finish, but I do believe that David Grant is very durable, and he will be good enough in terms of if he takes this fight to the ground, that he'll be strong enough in the top position to nullify any of the submission game coming from Marlon Vera, and this should drag out into a decision realm. Ultimately, my pick is going to be David Grant to win by decision, which I currently think is we're sitting around plus 450 or something like that. So if you're looking at a prop, I think that's a great prop to go out there and target. But in terms of a prize picks approach here, I do like the Marlon Vera over 12.5 minutes, and I'm fully seeing this fight to go to a decision. So once again, Marlon Vera over 12.5 minutes. There you go. My 3 favorite prize picks tips for the card this weekend. It just so happens to be the last 3 fights on the card, but those are the 3 spots that I like the most, and I'm going to quickly go over it for you guys once again. Dan Ige over 1 takedown, Sergey Spivak over 25.5 significant strikes, and then lastly, Marlon Chito Vera over 12.5 minutes. There you guys go. Once again, prizepicks.com. Use promo code UFC100 and they'll match your initial deposit up to $100. And trust me, you're going to want to take advantage of that, because it's just another way for us to go out there and try to win some money off of just watching the UFC and trying to make our picks that way. So we got DraftKings, we got betting, and now we got prize picks. And ensure you guys use that promo code just to get the most bang for your buck. All right. That's a wrap on my end. Appreciate you guys checking out the show as always. Again, on the Patreon, I just dropped an article going over all my favorite prize picks tips. So if you guys want to check that out, it's only $5 a month. Super cheap. Can cancel at any time. No long-term commitments. And there's a reason there's over close to 430 active patrons on the Patreon, because it is the most popular MMA betting Patreon, MMA exclusive betting Patreon that's out there. So shout out to everybody that's supporting your boy. All right, that's a wrap. Good luck on your picks. Good luck on your bets. Good luck on your lineups. Let's try to win some money this weekend. And I will see you guys next week.